Futsal has gained a lot of ground in its first 12 months back on the Rock, and this was well showcased on Sunday as not one but two separate tournaments were held at the stadium and Tercentenary Sports Hall. In the Victoria Stadium's old sports hall, a so-called friendly veterans tournament was in play, although judging by some of the tackles being made, it was much more than just a friendly for most. Organised by Lee Thorne, the idea of the tournament was to provide a fun yet competitive playing field for Gibraltar's older football lovers. It attracted 8 teams in total, with most of the high-profile locally registered clubs taking part. Manchester 62, St Joseph's, Lincoln and even newly reborn Gibraltar United all had representation at the tournament, which in the end was won by Lynx, who beat Glacis by 4-2 in the final.
Well, Lee, you're the head organiser of this Veterans Futsal tournament taking place over the weekend. Just firstly, tell us how the idea came about and the organisation that's been put into running this event.
Firstly, we've been organising events for the past 6 months right now, and we did held a tournament about 4 months ago in May, and it was a good turnout. So we thought that to get another get-together as the veterans, we thought we'd get another tournament, five-a-side tournament going on, and have a charity event of it, part of National Week.
Now, you've mentioned the popularity of the event, a good turnout. You've got 8 teams here today. Obviously, futsal is a sport that's once again growing in Gibraltar. It was lost for a couple of years, but now obviously with all UEFA and all that, it's growing once again. Do you think this has helped to bring numbers back into veterans futsal in particular?
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of players in Gibraltar that are pretty much either in the loop doing managing or doing other things for the GFA or any other business in football, and they don't get enough time to actually come and enjoy a day of football themselves. So it's nice to organise stuff for them and let them come down here and enjoy the day for once.
Now, Ivan, from a player's point of view, how important is it for yourself and the other players to hold veterans futsal tournaments, just to keep you active, obviously, and to enjoy the sport that you all enjoy?
Yeah, to be honest, the whole setup has been very welcoming. There's many players who, once they retire, they welcome a bit of football at least once a month. It's not just been the futsal. Lee here, he's organised quite a number of events, be it a training session in the big pitch on a Saturday morning, to Poppy Day match, which is coming soon. We had a friendly against the press team from Cadiz, and now this futsal competition. Obviously it's based on clubs, and most of the clubs here are represented: Manchester, St Joseph's, Lions, Lynx and so on. So it's very welcome from a player's point of view.
Now, it's maybe not as quick or as agile as the senior game, but very physical, and some hard tackles been seen over the weekend.
Absolutely. I think last time it took place in the Tercentenary Sports Hall, which is a bit bigger. Victoria Stadium is a bit smaller, and it seems quite competitive today. Some teams really want to take the trophy at the end of the day today.
Meanwhile, in the Tercentenary Sports Hall, the GFA Senior Futsal League essentially kicked off, as the association held a 14 playoff in order to fill 2 vacant spots in the top division. College 1975, which is a new breakaway club from College Europa, were joined by newcomers Rock Pirates, Rock Solid and Hound Dogs in a round-robin league competition. During the afternoon, I spoke to the new GFA Futsal chairman, Michael Bonavia, and he explained the playoffs in more detail, as well as some rule changes which are being implemented this season.
Well, Michael, the start of the new futsal season is fast approaching. I understand there's a few new teams that have registered this season, so there's a playoff inside being held just to try and automatically promote some of those teams to the first division. Just explain to us the idea behind the playoff.
Well, yes, this year, as everyone knows, we've had 9 new teams entering the futsal competition. Obviously, from last year, there's been a few teams that they've withdrawn. So we had to fill in those 2 slots. We've asked as rules through the second division. Obviously, they were quite happy to stay on the second one. So we've gone down to the third division, and there've been 4 teams applying to upgrade themselves up to the first division. Obviously, we've had to do a playoff. It consists on 4 teams. The 4 teams are Rock Solid, Rock Pirates, Hound Dogs and College FC. So at the meanwhile, we are still waiting for the results of the playoff, so I won't be able to let you know who's entered on the first division.
Now, other than the new teams that have registered for the new season, there's also been a couple of changes in the rules. What can you tell us about that?
The changing of the rules, the main one have been that we've spoken to Council, to the GFA, we've spoken to UEFA to try and see if we was able to have the 11-a-side players playing indoors as well. Obviously, that's it's been approved, and from that result, we've had 30 teams entering this year to the futsal. Our main worry is this coming year that we had something else in project, having a junior foot league coming as well. But due to the allocations here in Gibraltar, 10 teams have been left out.
There's also a new rule, I understand, with regards to the players allowed on the bench for each team in any given game.
Yes, we've implemented this new rule, obviously to protect our homegrown players. It's 6 internationals and 4 homegrown players. That means that we are protecting our homegrown players and to develop our futsal as well.
Looking ahead to the start of the new domestic season, which is obviously planned to start in early October.
Yes, everything has been planned, settled, just waiting for the results of the playoff so we can introduce the new leagues. Obviously it's one league with 3 divisions, 10 in each division, and it's going to start on the first weekend of October.
Finally, Michael, now on a more international scene, obviously at the end of the month you'll be travelling away to Switzerland for the draw of the Futsal Nations Cup, so that's obviously another big milestone for Gibraltar Futsal.
Obviously we're looking forward to this coming year, but that is one of our main events. We are leaving on the 25th of September to the 27th to the draws. Obviously we're just waiting the luck of the draw.
In the end, it was College 1975 who finished unbeaten, with Rock Pirates claiming the 2nd spot for promotion to the 1st Division. Rock Solid and Hound Dogs start their futsal campaigns at the bottom of the pile in the 3rd Division.
The annual NatWest Triathlon has, by this time of year, normally already taken place. It's not the case this year, with the association unable to use the runway, which has traditionally been used for the 10-kilometre cycle leg. To find out why and where it's set to be held this year, I spoke to Sean Randall from the Gibraltar Triathlon Association.
Yeah, John, we've used the airport for the run pod for the last 13 editions. Unfortunately, the flights are at 10:50 now on Saturdays and Sundays, and it's just not viable. We would have to start the swims round about 7 o'clock in the morning. So this year we'll be using the old dockyard area, the gun wharf area. We're still to define the course, but it's definitely going to be there with the run pod going through Roger Road, Lavaderia, and back down.
It's a real shame because obviously getting 10 kilometres in on any of Gibraltar's roads is a nightmare, but the use of the airfield has always been beneficial.
Yeah, it's for the cycle there can't be any traffic, so the runway is no traffic about, contained. We could use the Western Beach. So it was ideal. Unfortunately, not this year.
So the plans are to start on the 5th of October, early in the morning, and use a different venue. And you're still working out the basic route for it.
We're working out the finer points, but it'll be, as you said, the 5th of October, the Gun Wharf dockyard area, round about 10:30 because we need the tide to be at its highest. And we would run, as I said before, Roger Road, Lavaderia, to the end, to the dockyard entrance down the far end by Cumberland, back down, no traffic, the runners would not have to step onto the road, so we believe that that's a safe environment.
Now you're inviting anybody who wants to have a go at triathlon to come down and take part. They can get registration online, I would have thought.
Well, we offer the registration forms on our Facebook page, which is Gibraltar Triathlon, and also at the Healthwise food store in Bell Lane.
And it is open to anybody, seasoned triathlete or just or beginners, or are you trying to really focus in on new people taking up the sport?
We try all categories, okay? So we've got 2 types of juniors, and for the seniors we have like first comers or the first triathlon of the season, and seasoned triathletes are also welcome, so the newcomers can observe a higher level of achievement.
Is relay still part of the overall functions?
Indeed, two types of relays, so the normal relay and the corporate relay, where we offer a corporate cup, and it's more for companies to put forward one or more teams, and then they challenge for the cup.
There's also an element of charity that always has been involved in the triathlon. Is that still the case?
Yes, of course. We always choose a non-government organisation to sponsor.
Looking for numbers again, and are you surprised at how quickly and how rapidly triathlon is growing in Gibraltar?
Yeah, it's featured prominently on TV. We've got the Brownlee brothers performing exceptionally well. So, being a British colony, we do follow English sport. So, last year we had approximately 140 participants in total. We are hoping to get the same numbers this year, although everything's been left a little bit late.
Looking for the numbers though, looking for people to come and enjoy themselves and support the Gibraltar Triathlon on the 5th of October.
Definitely, as always.
That's about all we've got time for on this week's programme, but before we go, here's the rest of the Rock's current sporting news. The sailing action out in the bay at the weekend was curtailed to just one race due in the main to the lack of wind. The race sailed was the first race in the Brinton Series, which was in fact postponed from earlier in the season. It was Charlie Lavarello sailing Flash who crossed the line first to extend his lead in the race for the prestigious overall season trophy, the King's Cup. Louis Triay Sr. was in second place with Monty Spindler in third. Charlie's nearest rival for the season trophy, Miko Capurro, was seventh. Away from the Rock, tennis pro Amanda Carreras exited her latest tournament at the semi-final stage in Spain over the weekend. Back in Gibraltar, and the wheels for Gibraltar's winter sporting programme are beginning to turn, with several sports getting underway this week. Football's new season has resumed, and this coming weekend the first round of matches in the GFA Premier Division are set to be played. Champions Lincoln Red Imps face Lynx on Friday night. Manchester 62 play Lions at 5 on Saturday, with this match followed by St Joseph's against newcomers to the Rock's top flight Britannia at 7:30, while on Monday Glasses play College Europa. The big football news, however, this week comes from the national setup, with the news from the GFA camp that matches may be switched to the UK after the Georgia game next month in Faro. Next week we'll be looking ahead to a big day for local rugby on the 27th of this month. We'll also be finding out what's on the cards for local netball over the course of their new season, and we'll also be catching up with paddle and tennis. And as always, rounding up the rest of the Rock sporting news. From the Sportsport team, thanks for watching, and bye for now.